Welcome to mytubeguru.com. In the previous lecture we have discussed the fundamentals of data types. In this lecture we will discuss them in detail. Let's start with the integers. In the last tutorial I have told you about the integers. Here I will let you know that integer can be divided into three categories, namely short integer, integer and long integer. Likewise, these can be further categorized on the basis of signed and unsigned integers. So that we have studied so far comes under the category of signed integers, and unsigned integers are those where we want to count something, where the value will be keep increasing. There is no chance of decreasing or going values in minus. At that places we use unsigned integers. See, if I am looking at the signed integers, then we can write sort int or sort signed int. That take 2 bytes of space for the case of 16-bit machine. Int take the same, long, whereas long take the double of the memory that is assigned to the int. On certain machines the size of sort and integer varies. It depends on vendor to vendor which we are using on. So let's, here I have discussed the unsigned. So in the previous slide, as you are able to see, I am mentioning here sort signed int, or you can write sort int. Here's compiler understood itself that the the value that we are interested to use may be positive or may be negative, but here in this case you cannot use values with negative sign, because you have explicitly instruct your compiler that you want to use only positive values. In that case the range will be calculated 2 to the power 16, because we are not using any weight for sign or anything. So the range will be, in the case of integer, 2 to the power 15, and in the case of long it will be 2 to the power 32 bit. So as we have seen, we can write signed sort int, or we can write sort int. Here we can write unsigned sort int. There is no need to mention the int explicitly, it will be included by the compiler by default. Likewise, unsigned int b, unsigned long int c, or unsigned long c. Likewise, we will keep going. So here what I have it is that I have discussed the different categories of integers and their format respectively. So if I want to use signed integer that we have used, and I have already told you, for that we use %d, for sort we use %d as well. There is no difference. For signed long we will use ld, l for long, d for integer. Unsigned int, for unsigned int we use %u. Unsigned integers are used for storing the addresses of memory locations. Say we will use in pointers. Unsigned sort, same we will use %u. For long we will use %lu. Here I want to tell you one thing. Here look at this point, note int a is equal to 23. Here what if I have declared a variable in data type, but I want to assign it the size and space of long, then we will add a capital L or a small l. So let's move to the float. Float can be categorized in 3 categories, namely float, double and long double. Here as you are able to see, float take the 4 byte in the case of 16 bit, double 8 byte, long double 10 byte, and the range will be calculated accordingly, that we have discussed in the previous lecture. For float we use %f, for double we use %lf, and for long float we use capital L